Fungui's foodies, welcome to Fungui's Kitchen. I'm Funguy the Entertainer, and today we are going to make beef short ribs, braised beef short ribs. I have not made these in forever because beef prices went through the roof. I was waiting for them to come down. I don't think they're ever going to come down, so I'm spending the money and I'm buying the beef short ribs. I miss them because they're so awesome. Now, my recipe is a little different than some because that's what makes my recipe, right? What you're going to need to do first, very first thing, is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So that's easy on this particular oven because you just push bake and start and it's automatic at 350 because it's like the most popular temperature. Now, there's two ways to do this. You could either use an all-in-one pan or pot or pan that can go on the stove and in the oven. I really want one of those. I'm looking at the cast iron ones because the cast iron is absolutely perfect for this particular dish, but I do not have cast iron set yet. I'm still working on a cookware sponsor and I'm hoping we can pick up a cookware cast iron set. But so if you have that, you can do this all in one pot or pan depending on what you have. I'm going to have to use two different pans, which reminds me I was dumb and I did not grab my oven pan out first. I should have done that before I started recording, but it's too late. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start braising the ribs and stuff in my stovetop. I'll transfer it over to the one that can go in the oven, and it's not that much more difficult. So most people probably don't have it all in one, so this recipe will work fine. Oh, hey, let's see if we've got anybody interested in calling. Actually, I do recognize that number, but I personally have to be in the office for that. That's for my party bus business. So, let me turn this off so it's not quite so annoying. So the first thing after you turn on the oven to the 350 for the preheat is you need, oh, I should tell you what your ingredients are going to need. You're going to need olive oil. You're going to, of course, need 6 bone-in ribs, short ribs. Salt, black pepper, onion powder, garlic, what am I missing? Beef broth, a cup of beef broth, Worcestershire, I call it Worcestershire. I know that's not the way to say it, they just call it Worcestershire sauce. Am I missing something? Oh, and this is something new that I wanted to try. I'm actually going to use a Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey for a little bit more flavor. Okay, so you take your olive oil. You need, let's see, I've got to start this all from the scratch of my head here. 3 tablespoons, right? 3 tablespoons of olive oil. 1, 2, 3. Okay, leave this out because we're going to need it again. We're going to turn the heat up on medium-high. As you know, medium-high is one of the most popular temperatures for browning and braising meats. Then we're going to season the meat right in the pan. Well, first we're going to do this. Sprinkle your seasonings, salt, pepper, and onion powder right on the top here while this is heating. Okay, leave it out because once we put these in the pan, we're going to do the other side. Okay, and onion powder. You can use actual onions. As a matter of fact, most of the recipes that I remember, we use real onions along with the garlic in the pan, and we caramelize the onions first. But I'm finicky about my caramelized onions. I want them caramelized in bacon grease instead of olive oil. Olive oil is healthier. So, but we're going to do this with the olive oil because that's what most people would like to use. Bacon grease with beef probably wouldn't work as well. Give it just a few more seconds for it to make sure it's really hot. You want to put the meat in here, you want to hear that sizzle right away. If you're not hearing the sizzle, the pan was not hot enough. A lot of times you can put the meat in there, turn the pan on, let it slowly rise. That's not what we're doing here. We are braising the meat. And actually, while it's doing that, let me see if I can find my oven pan real quick. Once again, I apologize for not having that ready right off the bat. Okay, what do I have here? Okay, got this ready here. Swirl this around a little bit more, make sure I'm feeling this. Nope, still not quite hot enough, close. Which is good, because I think I'm going to put aluminum foil on the, put aluminum foil on the bottom of this. There we go. Okay, I'm starting to see that little bit of, okay. Aha, this is who I was waiting for before. Hey Jim, you're on my cooking show. How's it going? Oh, it's on the speaker. Now it's on speaker. There we go. Try that again.
Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. Anywho's, I'm going to have to give you a call back because I do have a question. I would hope when you call me before I started cooking today, I would assume you're on the way to work?
Yep.
All right, so I've got, what, about 20 minutes before you get there?
I'll be there in 4, but I won't go in right away because I got to go to the subway.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do that. I will call you as soon as I get this stuff in the oven, and then I can put the video on pause. By the way, folks, this is Jim EV. He's one of my top DJ karaoke guys with my entertainment company. So, I will talk to you in a little bit, Jim.
All right.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, now, this is definitely hot enough, so when I put this in here, you're going to hear this sizzle. Yep, that's the noise we wanted to hear. Get this out of the way. Rinse off the fingers real quick. Alright, now, same thing on this side. Salt, pepper, and onion salt. Right on the top that was the bottom. And onion salt. Not onion salt, onion pepper. Oop, that was a little strong, but that's okay. Alright. Get my turnings on. There we are. They only need to sear for about 60 seconds on the side. You can use a timer, or I've been doing this for so long I don't even think about timers except when I'm doing something that takes minutes. If it takes minutes, then you don't want to screw something up. The timer helps because, you know, you get interrupted, like a phone call would have done that. Okay, it's been about a minute because we put them in there first, then we season them. That ate up some of the time. So now we just turn it over. See, look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? And it's perfectly seared. Uh-oh, that piece broke. These are actually boneless. I thought they had the bone in them, but they're not. They're boneless. Okay. So now we're going to go another 60 seconds on this side. And actually, while that's doing that, we can add the garlic. You can use fresh garlic. Just, you know I like this diced stuff. If you're using fresh garlic, it's like 2 to 3 cloves. So all you have to do is, when you're using the pre-diced, I put a little glob in a couple different spots. Okay, we're going to let that sit and soak a little bit. Now, I did not have any beef broth, so I made my own using that Better Than bouillon. So what I did is I boiled 1 cup of water, and I put in my bouillon and I stirred it around. We're not going to put that in yet because you also want to do the sides on these. That's something that a lot of people forget. If you don't do the sides, you're going to lose some of your juices in the middle because this food, these ribs are going to be cooking for a very long time. You don't want them to dry out. So that's why you're searing the outsides of the meat. It will keep the juices inside. Oops. Okay. And now, of course, it's okay if this starts to mix in with the garlic. Got everything else ready to go. I can get rid of this because I'm done with the olive oil. Actually, what I want to do on this aluminum foil pan, is really quick. Do one quick spray of olive oil. You don't necessarily need olive oil on aluminum foil. I've gotten in the habit of doing that because I've told you in another show. I actually had a piece of foil stick to something that was baked in aluminum foil. Got into one of my fillings. It is amazing how, if you've had it happen, you know what I'm talking about. Fortunately for the younger people, I don't even think they use silver fillings anymore. So it's the silver fillings with the aluminum foil that it's like electrocuting your mouth. It's absolutely insane. Okay. One more turn, make sure we get all 4 sides. Again, if you're not used to sticking your fingers on a hot food, don't do it. I've been doing this so long, it's not that big of a deal for me. One thing I do not do is I do not do that with deep fryers. I don't care how good your fingers are, you don't stick your fingers in a deep fat fryer to pull anything out. Okay, we'll let this cook for about 60 seconds. While that's doing that, we can add the Worcestershire sauce. Oh, brand new bottle, not even opened. That'll teach me not to double check things. Ooh, and this seal on here is good. Well, you know, nobody tampered with this. That's not a bad thing. Wonder if I get, nope. Guess I'm gonna have to use a knife. Oh, I think I might have just gotten it. No, being stubborn. Try clipping it here. It has a little section here that is supposed to tear, but it just did not want to do that. There we go. All right. Oh, that's why. It's a pop top. Is there another safety thing on here? There we go. All right, we'll shake it. We need 2 tablespoons. Just toss it right on top of the meat. And 2. Okay. Then we're going to pour in the beef base. Now it's a good thing I checked because it wasn't completely dissolved. I learned my lesson last time, so I'm going to stir it some more, make sure that the bottom is dissolved. There we go. Then we're going to add our bourbon. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of bourbon in here. There's 1 and 2. Okay. We're going to swirl that around a little bit. Alrighty. We're going to let this simmer for, we're going to put the lid on it for this. We're going to let this simmer for 2 minutes. Then we're going to transfer everything over to the pan that goes in the oven. We're going to cover it with aluminum foil. We're going to put it in the oven for 2.5 hours. It's a long time in there, so plan this meal in advance. It won't take, there's no more work involved, except you should make your side dishes with this. I had a discussion with a friend of mine who was on that, It's like basically they give up all starches and all sugars. It's mostly meat. You can do that, just eat this and, you know, it's good for you. But the way I like to do this is on a pasta or rice. Either one would work fine. You can even do potatoes, but pasta and rice with the braised beef ribs, short ribs, it's sort of good. They sort of go well together. Okay, so I'm not going to show you transferring this over because it's that simple. I'm just going to pour everything into this pan, organize it, cover it, put it in the oven. That's all there is to it. All right, so we'll see you in a little bit. All right, Funguy foodies, we're back. The timer's just gone off, so for 2.5 hours, these braised beef short ribs have been in the oven, slow cooking. So let's pull it out. Let's see how they look. As you can see, I've got my other things cooking right here. I've got creamed peas, and I'm doing a fajita rice dish, which is made for steak fajitas. So I figured this would probably go really well together. Remember, this is hot, so when you go to take the cover off, be really careful of the steam that's going to come out. Oh, wow, look at these. These are perfect. This is exactly what you want to see. They're cooked and they're tender. Oh, look at this. That is fantastic. This is perfect, exactly what you're trying to do. All this is going to go together on one plate. As usual, I'll take pictures of it. And of course, the beef short ribs came from Steinberg's Piggly Wiggly right here in Delavan. They have 4 locations. Check them out if you're in Wisconsin. And what are we doing next? Anything special? We just had our giveaway. We're not going to have another one for a while, but we are working on a cookware sponsor. Actually, we're looking for 2, one cast iron and one non-stick. So if you can please ask your friends to subscribe to the channel and watch the shows. It will help tremendously as far as, because we need that viewership in order for them to invest that kind of money in our show. Not only that, if we have you know, more investors, I can do a lot more fancy stuff and not just all this easy, simple stuff. True, that's kind of our forte, trying to make food for people who are in a hurry. You know, this only took, what, 5 minutes? Then you put it in the oven for 2.5 hours. 5 minutes, and then it's done. How can you not beat that? Granted, this took another 10 minutes, but still 15 minutes for a fantastic meal. This is really, really, really good. So please, let your friends know, pass this along, and let's make this rock and roll. And remember, you're my Funguy foodies. So hope you enjoyed my show today. Thanks for coming to my kitchen. I'm Funguy the Entertainer, cooking for you.